Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble. Today I'm going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm going to start like a new series basically on my channel talking about how to get free books basically. And each video is going to have a different topic. This week's topic is going to be Netgalley. So I'm going to record my screen and show you how exactly you can go about getting review books over Netgalley. The first thing that I wanted to say is that if you don't have a significant amount of followers on your booktube channel or on your blog or Instagram now is starting to really get noticed in the publishing industry or something to that effect. If you don't have, a decent amount, if you have 100, wait, build your following. I would really recommend like between 500 and 1,000. You can start doing that, but the more subscribers, the more followers you have, the better. So NetGalley, if you didn't know, is a website that publishers use to get in contact with reviewers about the books that they want to get reviewed. So they put it on there and you can request it basically, and I'm going to show you a bit more about everything that you need to do for NetGalley. So let's just get started. Okay guys, so I'm here on Netgalley. You basically just type in netgalley.com into your search bar, and then you create your account if you need to, or you sign in. And so I have an account already, so of course I'm going to sign in, and it brings me to the dashboard. When you're creating your account, it's actually very easy and self-explanatory. You just put your information in, and you put that you're a reviewer, and I'll explain more of that in a minute. I am going to first go to my profile and show you what I've got on there so far and what you need to do on that. So you basically need a picture. It makes you more relatable. I'm not really sure about if the publishers look at the pictures or even care. I don't even know, but I have a picture on there because I think it makes me more relatable and they can see that I am a real person. Then you put on there your name and that you review at and wherever you review at. And then this part right here shows how many books I have been approved for, how many books I have sent feedback in on and reviewed, and then this is the most important part of your NetGalley profile page, is your feedback to approval ratio, and basically that means the percentage, a ratio, everyone's taken math, is the ratio of feedbacks to approvals, and mine right now is 67%, and that's just because in the last week I have been approved for quite a few books, and every time you're approved for a book, of course, your ratio goes down until you approve it, and then it goes back up again. So I've been approved for like 9 books in the past 2 weeks, and that's why I have such a low ratio at the moment. If you are just starting out on NetGalley, I highly, highly recommend that you do not request more than 1 or 2 books. It can be a little exciting. You see all of the books that you want to read, all of the new releases that you're excited about, and you just request away, and then before you know it, you've got like 20 books that you have on your read shelf, and your ratio is in the ground. So I do not recommend that at all because your ratio is extremely, extremely important to your NetGalley profile. And next I have my bio, and basically on my bio I say that I record or that I review books on my YouTube channel, on my blog, how many subscribers and channel views I have, how many email and blog loved subscribers I have for my blog, how many views that gets a day, and I also put on there that I review on Goodreads, how many review followers I have on there, and then I also talk about books on Twitter, and I have so many followers on Twitter, and I like to put that my statistics are all up to date so that the publishers know that I am on top of my statistics and that they are accurate for the month that we are in. And then over here, whatever sites that you mention in your bio, it is extremely important that you link up your sites here. For example, if you review on Instagram, you can just go to add site. Instagram is not linked here, so you can just go to website, put Instagram in the link title, and then put your Instagram link here. I don't do much reviewing on Instagram, so I don't bother putting it on there. The next area that we have here is your contact info. You really don't need to put your address or phone because publishers don't really need to contact you that way at all. I haven't even had a publisher contact me by email, so it's not really important. And you can also choose your categories. The most common books that I review are teens and YA. Sometimes I do comics and graphic novels, and then I also do science fiction and fantasy, and then you can add whichever categories you want to from here. They have quite a few of them, so there's a bunch to choose from. If you are associated with, like, if you are a librarian or a bookseller, this is basically the area that you can use here, but it just, like, I don't know anything about it because I am not a bookseller, I am not a librarian, and I don't know any of these, like, associations or anything like that. But if you are a part of any of those associations, you can link them here, but I'm not, so I have it blank. And then over here I have where I set up my Kindle. So basically, when you are approved for a book, you can send it to whichever device you want, and I always send it to my Kindle. I don't really know how to set up for another device like a Nook or anything like that. You can also do it on Adobe Digital Editions, which is for your computer, so you do not need a Kindle or a Nook or a Kindle app or anything to review books. You can do it on your computer. You can download Adobe Digital Editions onto your computer, and they can send it on to that, so you don't need to have a reading device in order to review books for Netgalley, which is really nice. But I always send it to my Kindle, and you can learn how to find your Kindle email address here, and they tell you how to link up whatever device you have. It's actually pretty simple. But I don't really know how to walk you through it because I've already done it and it's been like almost a year since I have. So, but they walk you through it and they tell you step by step how to do it, and that's where you do it here. Now I want to go back up to my dashboard, and for here I want to show you the basic how to request books, from looking for it to requesting it all the way up into reading it and reviewing it. So we'll go step by step, and the first thing that I usually do is I go to find titles, and then I always click on teens and YA because that is what I enjoy reading the most. Sometimes I will look at the science fiction and fantasy, but if it is like, if under the science fiction and fantasy section, it is almost always adult science fiction and fantasy. And then sometimes I look at the comics and graphic novels, but I almost always go for the teens and YA. And then what I click from there is I usually go to available for request, but if you want to look at what is most popular on Netgalley right now, you can go to most requested. I like available for request because it tells you what has been added the most recently on the site. So for example, this was probably added today or yesterday. Nothing really looks new to me since I was on here looking at the books since yesterday, but you can just look and scroll through all of the pages and see what is available. But like I said, I've already looked through this. I really scroll Netgalley and the new books they have up every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, just because I like to be up to date and I like to see what they have on there. So now, this is the most important part. I like that The Secret Fire by C.J. Daughtry is right here because I can talk to you guys about it. The most important thing about requesting books from Netgalley is this little flag right here. So I'm going to scroll over The Secret Fire, and you guys might be asking, why is there two copies right next to each other? And that is because this copy of The Secret Fire is from Little Brown UK, and this copy of Secret Fire is from the publisher that is publishing it in the US and Canada. And that is most important because Little Brown UK, since it is in the UK, it only wants it only wants reviewers who are in the UK. And because I am in the US, if I were to request this book, I would be very, very quickly denied. So if you live in the UK, or in the US or wherever, be aware of what the publisher wants where the publisher wants you to live. If you click on it, it'll say right here, members in the United Kingdom are preferred, and the publisher may not have permission to approve out of region requests. And that is, I have never been approved for a book that is out of my country. If it doesn't say the US here, I have never been approved for it. So because I'm in the US, I requested The Secret Fire by C.J. Daughtry, and because I have been approved for it, it has something different down here, but we will get to that later. Something else that I like to look at is most requested, and like I said, this is the books that are the most popular on the site right now, so this is where I usually request from, but I do like to look at what's available for request because those are the newest books that are out. So most of these on this page I have been approved for, or I am waiting for approval, hopefully, but yeah, that's another page that I like to look at for books that I want to possibly read. The next place that we are going to go to is the shelf, and your shelf is basically books that you have been approved for, but you have not sent to your Kindle, or you have not sent to your reading list yet. So these are just books that are waiting for me to read, and so far it's just got the title options. You can add it to your reading list, or you can remove from shelf if you don't want to read it, but I don't recommend that. You can still get to it and review it and change your mind, but I like to have it here on my reading shelf so that I can remember that it's there and that I need to read it. And then it also has the publication date, which is the date that it's going to be published, and then the archive date. And the archive date is very, very important to look to. It is usually the same as the publication date, but not always. And the archive date is the date that it is going to be taken off of Netgalley. And at that time, you will not be able to download it. You will not be able to review it. You will not be able to read it or anything. So you need to make sure that you download it, send it to your reading device, read it, and review it before that date. It is very, very important that you do that. As long as you've read it, downloaded it and read it, I'm pretty sure that you can still review it after that date, but the publishers really, really want you to read it and review it before this date or on this date, so that they have all the reviews beforehand and stuff like that. And then if I have already read this, for example, I can add a review, and it basically, you know, in this section I can add my review, and then if I've posted that review on YouTube or my blog, I can add the link here, and then it asks some questions about, you know, what you think about the book, and then if you have any extra thoughts for the publisher, you know, tips, or if you liked the title or the cover or anything like that, you can add that here, and basically, you know, just put in your information here, and then make sure that you also do the stars. So if you thought it was 5 stars, click that, and so on and so forth. But I haven't read that yet, so I'm not going to do that. The next thing is your reading list, and these are just books that I have sent to my reading list, and I added this one. I have already read and reviewed forever ago, but I've added it back to my reading list so that I could show you something important. And these are the books that are either on my Kindle now or on my reading list, so I need to read them. And like I said, I think there was one, yeah, like this one, for example, Mechanica. The publication date and the archive date are not the same, but that is very rare. That doesn't happen a lot, so it just depends on the book and the publisher when they want you to have those reviews in. So if you have reviewed a book, you can go to remove from shelf, so you don't have it on there anymore, and that's how you basically can tell that, you know, you're done with that book. So you can take the books that you are finished with off of your reading list. And then the next thing I want to show you is the feedback sent. So all of these will show you which books I have sent in feedback for. And sometimes if you have read a book and reviewed it, the publisher can feature you on the page and use your review, because any review that you post on Netgalley is public, and the publisher can use it for whatever they want to. So if you do not want publishers to take your review and show it to everybody in the world, then Netgalley isn't for you, because basically by reviewing a book, you have given the publisher permission to use your review in whatever sense they want to. And when they do that, you can tell because it says featured where the book is. Alright guys, so that is it for my Netgalley overview video, basically. If you guys have any other questions about Netgalley, or how to review, or how to request, or you saw something on the site that I didn't explain and you want some more information about it, just comment down below, ask me all the questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. And next time on this series, I am going to talk about Edelweiss and everything that you need to know about requesting review copies on Edelweiss. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!